fire department.
famous on YouTube for it.
Alright, so here's a quick update. So with all the test hits that you guys just saw, this is what I'm going to do now. So I'm pulling out my 4.5 ton springs. I'm putting in 4 ton springs. It's not much of a difference. It's 1,000 pound rating less, but I'm gonna hopefully hope that it helps. So I already did the other side. I swapped out the upper ball joint, swapped out the other spring. All I gotta do is this side now. I already compressed my springs, like you see in the picture now, on my 20 ton press from Harbor Freight. Doing it the sketchy way, and then in my pump, I'm going to go ahead. Oh wait, almost fell. I'm gonna go ahead, replace the gear that's in it. It has a brand new number 13 in it right now. From what it was hitting, it did a whole lot better with just a brand new gear. I don't know if the number 13 had to do anything with it, but I'm gonna go ahead and try number 11, brand new 11 Marzucci. So I'm gonna try that. If that doesn't work, then I'm gonna go ahead and put in my brand new number 13 Black Magic hydraulic gear, the one that has 777 on it. That one you're supposed to actually break it in before you start messing with it, because it has less tolerant of the gears moving. All right, plus the oil that's in it right now, I think that's kind of hurting me as well. I've been using hydraulic non-detergent fluid. I honestly do not know the weight or what's in it or whatever. I honestly don't, because I bought off a guy that sells hydraulic fluid all the time. Doesn't say weight on it or anything. It just has his company name on it, and he won't tell me what grade it is. The issue that I'm kind of having is when I'm hopping, the whole pump, literally the whole pump from front to back, the mount right here, and the whole dump assembly and the hoses from at least the feed out from the Y block are hot to the touch. For example, like if something happens to the dump, or I have to swap out a motor, I'm not going to be able to, because the whole thing is hot. It's hot as hell. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back using motor oil. I have heard of people using 1540, I think it is, diesel oil. So I'm gonna use diesel oil as well. If that doesn't work with the brand new 11, then I'm gonna go ahead and put in my number 13 that requires the braking process and requires a specific mix of oil. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And as you guys can see, somehow I have never had that issue before. I gotta go ahead and lift up the truck on that one side and move it, because I've never done that before. It's always stayed like this. I gotta go ahead and fix that. But we'll continue with the upgrades of what I'm doing. So that's what's next for the pump. Now for the wiring, I'm going to go ahead and change the wiring. The way I'm about to explain it, hopefully you guys can understand. I'm putting in a second plug, disconnect plug, and I'll tell you guys why. I haven't wired it up yet. All I did was install it. So what I'm gonna do, so right now these 8 batteries along with that one are hooked up in series. So I'm gonna go ahead, hook it up 10 batteries straight, right? But I'm not just gonna continue it the way it is in series, right? It's gonna stay in series. So, but this is what I'm gonna do. From my 4th battery, right here, from the positive terminal, I'm gonna run the cable. I'm gonna take this take that away. I'm gonna run a cable from that positive terminal to my solenoids, and on the other end of the solenoids, run the cable back to this negative terminal, so to the next battery. And then the batteries are gonna stay the same, wired in series up to battery number 10, which is gonna be this one, which I have to flip it around. And it's going to have a cable from here going straight to the motor. A lot of you might have already seen that type of wiring. I haven't. I saw it on a future. Like, I went to go see a friend's car that I'm going to work in the future, and it was wired that way. But I thought it was weird, but it worked. His car was kind of, how would I say it? Kind of snappy, so it was in a good way. But he only had, what would I say? Only 6 batteries. So, but we're gonna run 10. Doing it that way. So the reason for this plug is the cable that goes from one end of the solenoids back to the next battery. Well, that cable is going to have a quick disconnect. So just in case anything happens, that one cable, I can just quickly yank on the second part that goes right here, if anything happens. So first, if something blows, whatever, quickly yank on that and then disconnect the ground. So that's what I'm going to do for my wiring. So I'm going to change that. So hopefully by doing that, I should be able to throw more power, the actual voltage, close to the actual voltage to the motor. Hopefully, right? I know I've always said run one extra solenoid, but I feel like the one extra solenoid for me is constricting the power that I'm trying to push. So I'm gonna go ahead, just move to 4 solenoids, because that's what a good friend said. Do run 4 solenoids on 10 batteries and I should be okay. These are practically almost brand new. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna do all those upgrades, and hopefully it works. Because it's almost there. It's almost there. It's almost hitting bumper. So, all right. Well, let me get to it, and I'll be right back. All right, I got all of the upgrades done. The new wiring diagram done. Tomorrow is test day. I fixed a little hose issue here. Got the brand new number 11 in there, with new oil. Tomorrow all I gotta do is open up the front hoses, click it a few times, spit out some fluid until regular oil comes out, until all the regular hydraulic fluid that's still in the lines come out and flushed out, and then top it off with some more oil. This time around, I'm only going to use diesel fluid in the tank, diesel motor fluid, 1540, I think. Yeah, 1540. Let's see. So you see that wire where it's coming from? Straight from the battery. Right there. So, not sure if I'm going to drop the video before this one or the other one, but I did make a video kind of going through motors. I bought a few different types. I bought some Presto Highs, some Reds, and one Thunder motor to kind of see what the difference is and how the Reds compare to the others. This one right here is a Red motor. I tested this summer with one Presto High motor, but then my other 2 motors I had to sell them. So it is what it is. I could have just used the money to buy another motor and dress it up, but instead I just put it in my bank account. I mean, I have other Red motors anyways. These are better built. So far, this is the only motor that I've been running all summer practicing. Like I said, I had one motor on here. It's not burnt yet. The Presto High isn't burnt yet. I wanted to really try this one. That's why I put this one in here. So I still have 2 more of these, and I still haven't tried the Thunder. But oh wait, sorry, that was a big fly or mosquito, whatever it was. Sorry, but yeah, just one Thunder motor. They're kind of spendy. I've heard good things and bad things about them. So, but yeah, motors directly wired from the last battery, from battery number 10. So, like I was saying earlier, now that it's hooked up, here's battery number 4 from the positive terminal. I got a cable running to the solenoids, and then this cable is supposed to go from here to the next battery on the negative terminal. But I put a disconnect just in case something happens. So this cable, I'll have it running down here to this, and then running back up, back through here, and then this is the wire that you're seeing, and then the rest, the last 6 are hooked together, and then straight to the motor. So I was kind of skeptical about doing it this way, but like I said just a little bit earlier, when I went to go look at a car that I'm going to work at in the future, he had, I think, if I remember, it was 6 batteries, I think, and he hit the up switch, and it was pretty snappy. Like, it went up pretty fast in the front. So I'm hoping I get the same reaction here. So ever since I finished building the truck, I don't know if you guys remember or can tell the difference, but this is a whole new different hold down setup. I put heavier bars. There's no weight in these. There's no weight in these bars. I did cap off the sides just to make it look cleaner. I got rid of my other hold downs. These are good hold downs too. Can't really see them too well, but I put all thread rod inside of a tubing, and at the bottom of the tubing it's welded, so you can't really see it. But yeah, there's weight added as well, because now the batteries are above the bed. So I'm going to estimate, I didn't weigh any of it, I'm going to estimate that there's anywhere from 14 to 1,700 pounds of added weight. So yeah, I don't know what it's gonna do tomorrow. Gonna have to, like I said, I still need to fill in, top off the oil, bleed it, put some nitrogen in the piston I'm going to start it at, I think 80 or 90 psi, and then we'll go from there. But I have noticed once I go above 110, 120, it doesn't hit any better. It does not. It seems like it does worse. Anything above 110, 120. So I need to kind of keep it at 100, or in between 80 and 100, and it should be happy in that range. All right, for you, I'll see you tomorrow. For you, I guess it's just a few seconds. All right, we'll be right back.
Wakanda. Tell me what. Do a Wakandian warrior.
So after that test pass, I broke the dog bone on the driver's side. The last test, I broke the I broke the mount where the it mounts down to. It ripped the hole like you saw in the picture. So I'm gonna go ahead. I got a few replacements just in case I break. Hopefully I don't need to use the other set this year. Hopefully I can completely eliminate the dog bones completely. So I'm gonna go ahead, put the new part in, put this arm back on, and then I'm gonna go ahead and swap out the other dog bone too. Only because I know it's starting to bend. You can probably kind of tell already. So that thing's gonna snap pretty soon, and I'd rather replace it now than have it snap, because every time something snaps with the control arms or anything, it messes up the brake lines and steering linkage. Luckily, nothing has happened to the steering linkage yet. Hopefully, I don't jinx myself, but the brake line, the fittings have been bending. Luckily, I'm able to bend them back, but you can only do that so many times until something actually breaks and doesn't want to bend back. So I'm gonna go ahead, swap this part in, and then you'll see another another test, and we'll be right back.
You broke the arm. Yo, let's go.
All right, so far this summer, still no success in hitting bumper, even though I know I'm so close. The bumper testing at home is the bumper's maybe a foot away from hitting the ground. And then that clip you just saw was at the last show of the summer where there was a hop off. But yeah, the dog bones that the truck comes with, they are not strong at all. Especially the driver's side. The driver's side is always the side that would snap. Always right there. Right where the bolt hole is. Always the front one. Towards the front is the only one that would snap. The driver's side, the passenger side would only bend, but it wouldn't snap. So right now, this one is in great shape because can't really tell from here, but I can kind of see it that it's started to bend a little bit, but not too much. Normally it starts bending pretty bad by now. But I don't know if you guys can see. I can show you guys on the other side for sure because there's more room. I reinforced the dog bone. Can you see that? Can you see the welds right there? Let's see if I can keep the light where it's supposed to be at. Okay. Oh crap. So yeah, right there, that plate. So this is the side that I would have to cut down so that I can get the dog bone in between the arm, I would cut down the one side that wouldn't snap, wouldn't bend. So that corner's cut, and then it's a full 1/4 inch plate. We'll cut in half right there because I didn't have anything long enough. And then it would stretch out just barely past the bolt hole, because I knew if I went too far it would be a pain to get that shaft in the arm. So far the passenger side is holding up pretty well and barely bending. Before, that thing used to bend quite a bit. So here's the driver's side, and you can probably see right away that it snapped. Oh, come on. Right there. You see that? It snapped. Right there, you can see the exposed metal right there from the inside. As you guys can tell, the bushing's all the way up out here when it's supposed to be right here. So it no longer would snap where the bolt hole is, right, this one. Now it snapped after the reinforcement in a different spot. So I decided not to reinforce another set. I'm just gonna replace it with a stock bone, not reinforce it, because I think I'm done for the summer. But I am going to modify the front, which I should have done it in the first place when I had this truck at my old job. But I was kind of running out of time, so I had to use just these dog bones. So these dog bones, they would snap once I reached the 6 foot mark, and when the truck would come down, it didn't like it. So those dog bones for this truck, unfortunately, are very weak. The ones on G bodies, those are thicker than these, believe it or not. And it's a truck. You would think it would be thicker or more, or at least heavy duty, but they are not. So and then at the show, the wheel bent so much that it messed up my brake line, and I lost my brakes at the show. Okay. Alrighty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to finally eliminate the dog bones. I I believe in the first place why I did not put those brackets like I wanted to was because the top of the frame right here, you know, underneath the arm, it's not flat at all. It's not. It kind of is on this side, but it kind of slopes downward into the motor, so it's not like flat. So because I was running out of time, I didn't have time to really make the brackets, mold them to fit the frame. So this time I am gonna do it. I'm gonna take care of it either in October or November for sure this year of 24, and then we'll test again in November or December on a nice cold day after the batteries are charged. So my plan is to put brackets, literally welding them on the corner of the frame right here, just right here, welding them on the frame. So that's gonna tell you a few things. So I like the tuck on the truck. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run just G-body arms. I'm not gonna modify it like I modified these, because if you guys remember, these arms, they're half G-body and half Mopar, which belongs to the truck, which is the back half, obviously. So the next ones are just gonna be straight G-body, but I'm not going to reinforce them. I think I'm actually going to shorten them, because the mounts, I'm moving them from back there all the way up here to the corner of the frame. I'm gonna weld them up pretty good so that it stays still. I'm gonna have to move the brake line right here, move it out. I'm gonna have to extend the brake line over there, extend it out so that it's no longer in the way. And then I will need a new extended hose right here, so I'm gonna have to do that as well. It's not much. These hoses, you can get them on Amazon for real cheap. You can get the adapters and everything for real cheap, and it'll go into the stock brackets. You just need to get that clip so it holds everything in place in the original stock brackets. So I don't know, you guys remember, I know they say that compression fittings are not safe to use on brakes, but I have no issues with these right here. So I will be using compression fittings on my brake. So that's it for the truck for the summer, unfortunately. So, but I wanted to show you guys, I did buy some brand new dog bones, which I ordered them before the last show. They were supposed to be here before the show so that I can install them. Here they are. So this is the one that comes with the truck. This one's already bending. This is the passenger side. See how it bent pretty good. I don't know how much more it would have taken before it would snap, but again, the passenger side would never snap. It would just bend pretty bad. Only the driver's side would snap. So yeah, as you guys can see, this one's completely round. This one has like a flat sides, like if it was like a wrench or something. This one is completely round all the way around, and you guys can see it's thicker than these right here where the bolt goes through. So maybe I should have just found these sooner and put them on and reinforced them, so they would have possibly held on, but they came late. And right now there's no, I really don't need them. So I might just return these to AutoZone. I don't need them anymore, but I wish I would have ordered them sooner, but yeah, too late now. I'm just gonna go ahead, eliminate the dog bone to eliminate headaches, because dog bones do bend. I know G-body hoppers, I know that they swap them out, you know, once or twice every other year, because they do bend. So, but like I said, I reinforced the stock ones that I picked up at the junkyard, and they held up a little bit longer, but I'm just going to eliminate it. Oh man, I kind of want to reinforce the new ones and try the truck again. Nah, you know what? I'll return it, get my money back, and it'll go. That money will just go back into the truck anyways. Oh well, it's a bummer that I couldn't get the truck on the bumper this year. Where I was hopping the truck at that show, the road was slanting towards the road, which was the way the truck was pointed. So I'm wondering, maybe if I would have turned the truck around facing the other way, the opposite way, if it would have helped. But I honestly don't know. The other two hoppers that were in my class, they did it the other way. So yeah, I don't know. I probably should have just done it the other way. Maybe I would have hit bumper at least once. But I'm pretty sure I've given you guys a little bit of update on the rack itself. Sorry, it was zoomed in. The truck has roughly 1,800 pounds of weight. As you can see, all the layers that have gone up. So let's see, there's 2 layers right here, and then you got the 3rd layer, which is the last rack that the batteries are on, and each layer is filled with bars of steel. Same for the back, bars of steel. This tube is empty. It's 1/4 inch, 4 by 2, I think, or 3 by 2. I don't know. 1/4 inch. I capped it off just to make it look cleaner. But yeah, this one's empty, but this one's full. This one's pretty damn heavy. So, and then there is, let's see, there is weight in the bed frame, right? No, not bed frame, in the frame after the wheel well on each side. And then if you guys remember, when I was building the frame for this one, I put in cross members where my fuel cell is now. The back fuel cell cross member has weight in that one, not the one in front of the fuel tank. The one behind it has weight. And then I don't remember if I did talk about it, but I went away from the 4.5 tons springs, and I'm now rolling. Now I have the 4 tons in the front, the white springs from Hilo. So that's what I have now in the truck. I did a few upgrades on a weekend, and I don't know what helped the truck get even higher. So what I did was I changed up the wiring. Okay, so all of these 8 plus 2 in the next bank of batteries power the front pump. So this is how I have it. 1, 2, 3, 4 batteries, and off the positive post I got a cable going to the solenoids. So the power goes through the solenoids, and then I put in another quick disconnect mounted on the bumper. You can see it right there, it's kind of blue. And then that wire goes back up to battery number 5 negative terminal. So the power goes from here through the solenoids back up to number 5. And then the rest of them, the rest of the 4 and the 2 over here, so 6 batteries total, I have them wired together in series, and the positive post right there is where this cable goes to. So the 10th battery is wired straight to the hydraulic motor right here. So that's how I have it wired. And then I did also put in that same weekend a brand new number 11 Marzucci gear. So that same weekend I did the gear, redid the wiring, because apparently I get more power wiring it this way, but it is dangerous. That's why there's another disconnect just in case anything happens. And I did the springs. So I don't know what helped. Maybe I should have done it one at a time to see what did help. Just in case you guys are wondering, these are fire blankets, because my fuel line is literally right here, and those motors, they blow out quite a bit of spark with all that power. So that's why I got that there. And that's about it. But yeah, 4 batteries going to 4 solenoids, back up to 5, wired to the 10 batteries, straight to the motor. So that's how I have it. So after the hop, a few guys did come up to me and tell me that I should probably add more weight. But the thing is, I think what killed it was my truck was facing the other way on that pavement. So I don't know. Because after I tested the truck that it was almost about to hit bumper, after that is when I added weight to that bar right there. So, and that was like an extra 100 pounds right there. I don't know if it would have really done a difference, but I'm assuming it would have gotten me closer. So what I'm gonna do next in October or November is do my dog bone elimination. Get rid of that, modify a G-body arm to fit the truck. Like I said, I'm gonna have to shorten it so I can keep my tuck. The tuck that wheel has is not the tuck that I'm aiming for, because it's obviously broken. But yeah, so some of the guys said add a weight. I kind of ran out of room to add a weight. The only way that I could add a weight, if I just bring the batteries even higher, which I kind of don't want to. I do miss driving this around. Everybody knows me for this truck. I really do miss cruising it. I know my kids miss it too. So do I regret putting in the work to make it a hopper? Yes and no, because I always wanted a hopper, but I do miss driving it. So it's a V6 in the truck, has a smaller fuel tank. It has aftermarket fuel pump from Amazon, so the truck does go through fuel a little bit faster, so I can't, so it runs out of fuel faster, plus. But one of the good guys from Majestic said, well, why don't I just add weight to the tailgate? He has a point, but I don't know. So first I'm gonna do that modification to the front, and then I'll reconsider adding more weight. Some people said, why don't I just fill the bumper with weight? Well, it would be nice if I could, but I can't. I mean, I could, but I don't know how much weight I'll be able to actually add, because it's split right in the middle. Right there, it's split in the middle. So I would only have to be able to add weight in this section here and then that section over there. Plus the bumper has that bracket kind of in the middle of each side, and then that other bracket right there keep the bumper straight. So in reality, I would only be able to add weight right there in that little small section right there, and that's not gonna give me enough. So yeah. I don't know, I might consider putting weight in the tailgate. I don't know. But like I said, I'm not gonna add any more weight until I get rid of the dog bones completely. And I'll show you guys right now that the tuck that the truck has and that we're gonna keep is that much of a tuck right there. Yeah, broken. And then in my piston, I'm running, the sweet spot for it is in between 90 to 120 psi. I'm gonna play with the psi again and see if I add more, if it'll do better. For the front wheels on hoppers, hopefully everybody knows, you do gotta run inner tubes, and make sure you use a shop that knows how to install them, because I had this shop install them and then they pierced one when they were mounting the tire back onto the rim. But the front wheels right now, I'm running nitrogen at about 85 psi. A lot of the guys are telling me I can go more because my tires are bigger than what people normally use. So they put like 105 psi in the front wheels, so I might end up doing that as well. I might end up putting tubes in the rear as well. The rears do not have tubes. It'll probably be a good idea to add tubes so that I can air them up pretty well, so that the truck really rolls a lot easier, because I don't put no more than 50 or 60 in the rear, but they still look kind of flat because of all the weight. So yeah, so that's where we at for the summer. So we did those changes and we got closer to the bumper, so that's what I'm happy about. So but for sure, you guys are gonna see the truck again while I do more modifications. So I know it's a lot, just me just talking and stuff like that. So I still have the high-low piston with the Super Duty 8X, but it has a different candle on it now, so I guess it's not really Super Duty 8X anymore. I bought that when that was like $400 or maybe $350. It still works. I haven't had to rebuild it yet. I've only had to replace the candle. So it might be a good idea for me to go ahead and rebuild the dump during this off season. Order the kit, get that done. So let's see, I was gonna say something, but I completely forgot what I was gonna mention. Yeah, I'm not really remembering. But yeah, I mean, at the last show, people loved the truck because it's different. Nobody hops Dakotas. So I'm hoping to put Dakotas on the map, I guess. Everybody uses Rangers, the Nissan Hardbodies, or Toyota Tacomas. Or in Japan, I know they use the Zuzus. But in America, it's only Nissans, Toyotas, and Fords. Mainly Fords. So I'll be putting Dodge Dakotas on the map for being used as hoppers or even lowriders. I know there's a handful of these in the country as lowriders, but not much. So it's a bit of a bummer, but I mean, I did get a good feeling of everybody giving me support at the show from different clubs, and giving me some tips. I appreciate it. It felt good hopping it, and everybody was, cheering for the truck. Unfortunately, it broke, and maybe I should have had it turned around that day, but it is what it is. All right, everybody. We'll catch you in the next one. More videos are coming, I promise. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.